Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 214.
214.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. They are our official travel agency. You can find out about the latest Disney deals on their website and subscribe to their, it's a tongue twister, e-newsletter. Go to their website and definitely check that out. They also can do really pretty much anything as far as travel. So that's definitely a plus.
And that's something you did. You were a travel agent for a number of years.
I was for 6 years, so I'm very picky about who I recommend. And we definitely recommend the MEI, and again, check out their website.
Also highly recommended the allears.net weekly newsletter.
And this is a free newsletter, and it has over 900 issues. So if you have never read it, you have a lot of back reading to do.
Oh, yes.
And in this issue, Deb Coma reviews the Epcot Festival of the Arts. It's a lengthy review. We talk about in the show today, but she comes at it from a different angle, including a media event that they went to. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of information in there that you won't hear on our show. They also have tips of the week, news bites including refurbishments, DVC news, Disneyland, and much more.
Check them out.
Absolutely.
And here we are this week. We're at Epcot talking about the new festival. First off, though, as you can see, it was a very busy day, but luckily they have an annual pass holder, a special entrance. And a little different than at the Magic Kingdom, they kind of have it roped off, so you have to show your pass before you access, in this case, the short line. So there you go, much easier this time.
So we were here for the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, which runs for 6 weekends starting January 13th. So we've already had one weekend. We're on our second one now, and it runs through February 20th. And also the weekends are from Friday through Monday. So it's 4 days, not like a 2-day or 3-day weekend. Right,
which is really good. And right off the bat, I should say we both loved this new festival. Let's talk about Figment, the Figment topiary.
So the Figment topiary was supposed to be, well, it has been promoted for the Epcot Flower Garden Festival. He's 6 foot tall, but he arrived early for the festival. I have a feeling that these lines, I think you're going to see flowers come in, and he's actually going to be more purple. Right now he's just the...
I agree. I think that's probably true.
That's standard for these type of topiaries, is they put something in that will make them more colorful.
And not the first time Figment has appeared at Epcot in topiary form. Remember the original Journey into Imagination? They had a Figment out there.
I don't remember.
In front of the Kodak shop. Yeah.
That's terrible. I don't remember that.
Well, does this refresh your memory a little?
No.
And you see those are water things there around him. And
I can't even
tell
it's
Figment. The water
Figment.
used to go up in the air and bounce. You could sort of catch it as a kid.
I can't even tell it's Figment. I mean, obviously the topiaries have advanced quite a lot since then, so I can tell this one's Figment.
So let's talk more about the offerings of the festival.
Well, right here they had, I don't know if it was a high school band, but there's a community artist showcase. So they have performances here, different kinds of performances throughout the day, including American Music Machine also, which we didn't end up seeing them at all, did we?
Just briefly on the second day, I think. At least I saw them.
I didn't. And here we were in one of the photo ops for the, there's different photo ops around the park.
A lot of them you're actually in the art, and
right.
This is sort of just the logo, although, I think it's very nice.
It's nice, but it's more of a standard one.
It is correct. That's
here
true.
Is the annual pass holder shirt. There's a number of different items that you can buy, not a lot. But the one, I think what they have is very nice, and
I ended up buying it. Yeah, I loved this shirt. It was the first time ever that I liked the pass holder only.
Yeah,
item.
Usually it's an odd color or something where you're like, yeah, I kind of like the regular one better, but I thought that was very nice.
Classic Epcot logo there, and there's some art. This really sets the whole theme of the art festival.
And it's more than just art. You also have the food items, which of course are kind of art themed. And we're already at Figment's Brush with the Masters. This is a scavenger hunt for this festival.
And these scavenger hunts have evolved. It used to be just Easter, and then they went into a food and wine one with Remy, and now we have the Figment one. And here you go. Here is the card and the stickers.
And you can see the stickers have the artwork that you're looking for in each pavilion. And generally, the artwork is going to be found interior.
And I should mention the artwork is all figmatized, too. It's not the exact artwork that you saw in those stickers.
Right. Like you can see here, there is Figment kind of coming out of a volcano.
Right. This is in Mexico.
And once you kind of find the first maybe 2 or 3, you're like, okay, well, I know where the rest will be. It gets really easy at that point. So, but here is in Norway, right? And we have
Yes, that's
Figment
good. Now,
being
this
the
was a
screamer.
tough one. This took us a while. I think we had to ask for
was
a
little
hint
harder.
on this
Yes.
one. So they're not all that easy. This one is in Italy, I believe. It's the Mona Lisa, I think.
Yes. Well, the Figment Lisa.
Figment Lisa, there you go.
And
And the frames, look at how awesome. I mean, I would love to have these frames here at home.
And this is in America.
Right.
Is that really, you want that frame?
You
It's
wouldn't want
kind of-
every picture we have to have that frame?
No, it's a little too ornate for me, but you can see Figment in that photo as well.
And this is one of my favorites. It's sort of a Monet, and of course, it would be in France.
Yes, and I've been to Monet's garden, so I've stood on the bridge that Figment is standing
You
on.
have?
Who knew? Maybe we could have crossed paths.
That's very exciting.
And he's looking down at himself in the water, and the water lilies there.
So I've played every one of these scavenger hunt type things. I think you have too. And I would rate this one right up there. I thought it was very creative, different. Some of the other ones have gotten very hard, the Easter egg hunts. But,
Well, I like it. I like a little more challenge. We mentioned at least one of them was a little harder to find. A couple of them were, but they did get almost a little too.
Well, remember
easy.
how hard the Remy was? That last
Remy
was very.
yes.
So you get your wish with that one.
That one was hard.
So the highlight, let's take a look. We found all of them, and you have a pick of prizes. These are Figment magnets.
Well, we ended up buying 4 maps so that we could take home.
Yeah,
4.
we couldn't choose just one. We liked all of them, and I'm glad we did. I think they're really cool.
And this was $6.99, and then we got 20% off. So I thought it was a pretty good price for the magnet. Plus, you get to have fun too. And keep those maps.
And you don't have to do them at all. I mean, if you just want the magnets, you could just buy the maps and they will stamp and give you the magnet right there. But you should do it. It's really fun.
It is at least fun to try it.
So speaking of trying things, we went with a bunch of friends and we tried about half of the food items at the festival. So we're going to take a look at that now. Why don't you set us up with the first batch?
Well, we were going into the Odyssey. This is the first area that we went to. They had, this is the trio of savory croissant donuts. I don't know if
yummy.
you like that or not. That included chicken mousse with fresh herbs and everything bagel seasoning. We also had some beer.
Beer flight,
a little beer flight there, which I didn't try any of the alcohol. The white chocolate art painting with chocolate easel. This is about 1 inch by 1 inch and cost $7. There was a little too much balsamic on this margarita flatbread for me. That was $5.25. And then the white chocolate figment puzzle on an artist palette. I thought that was fun.
That was fun, and you got to be creative too, because you could sort of you can make the puzzle, but then you can paint it with the edible paints, and you can put little toppings on. Everything tasted very good.
But then, once we did put stuff on it, it didn't look like Figment anymore, although it doesn't really look like Figment anymore anyway, hardly. Once you put it together, it's sort of... it's hard to tell it's Figment, so why not just throw everything on there?
As you can see, I didn't do my best work. I wasn't really taking my time and concentrating on
and
painting.
There's no purple, I don't think. So, it's not going to look like Figment anyway.
Right,
so
if you
just
had
throw
a
everything
paintbrush, perhaps if you bring your own paintbrush and what have you, then maybe you could do a better job. But I was going for a different look here.
Well, this is, the chocolate was good. I've got to say that. This cost, I think I said $6.50. Similar, a little bit less than the chocolate easel, but at least you get to do a little something fun.
I love that one finger that just took one out of it, and it seems to be gone now. I wonder whose that could have been. This was probably my favorite item. It just looks so cool.
I think it looks cool, too. I was mentioning also, though, 1 inch by 1 inch, so don't expect when you see the $7 price, it's going to be very small.
So next up is the E equals AT squared booth.
And what you all had here was the classic Reuben with shredded corned beef, and then I believe you had the Cobb salad with smoked duck breast.
Both deconstructed. So that's a deconstructed Reuben and a deconstructed Cobb salad. Both solid, very good. I would get them to enjoy. Why don't you tell us about I think it's the deconstructed breakfast that's coming up.
That's with the twining spiced apple chai tea shake with maple bourbon cream, a waffle crisp, and candied bacon. And then the other one has maple syrup instead of the maple bourbon cream. So one's alcohol, one has no alcohol.
From what I remember, you liked the alcohol. You did take a sip of that. I think you said you had liked it.
Yes, I said I had no alcohol, but I think I did have a sip of that.
Possibly the best booth here coming up. This was in Mexico.
And you can see we didn't have a table. We had a trash can.
Well, it would not be an Epcot festival without trash can dining.
Yes. And so I don't know how to say either of these fully, but one of them has flank steak and the other one are tacos. And the tacos are very spicy but very good. That has Chihuahua cheese, red and green peppers over a corn tortilla. He's laughing at the Chihuahua cheese. And garnished with poblano peppers and cilantro.
Everyone in our group loved these tacos, and I concur. They were fantastic. A little pricey, but I thought they were very good. This was good too, though, the steak.
I think the tacos were not as bad. I think they're around $4.50 to $5, where the steak is quite a bit more. That is has flank steak in it, so that was very nice.
And there were also a couple margaritas. I did try those. They're very expensive, around the $14 range. We won't even talk about that. Let's talk about the art. These are art that is with the characters.
I really like that. You can see Doc signed his name here with Snow White.
Doc is a very good artist.
On Donald's, it actually just says Donald. So I thought this was very nice. They put out a Belle one, not like
Aurora
a couple
has
days.
one.
Yes, Aurora, but they weren't all out. I don't think the first day. But I just thought that was a very nice touch.
So back to the food. Here we are at another food booth. This is the one in the Germany area.
And we tried a variety of items here. The first one is the braised beef short rib with parsnip puree and broccolini. There was also balsamic. I thought there was too much balsamic, but I like balsamic on salad, not on everything.
Yeah, you were sort of anti-balsamic this day.
It was
they
just
kept
a lot.
hitting you with too much,
Yeah.
I think. All right, so we'll start off with the beef. I knew you would like this.
So, well, I like the beef. I like mashed potatoes and everything on here I like, except they just kind of are like balsamic. Ooh,
well,
look how
I
much.
think they put so much on because it's art. It's supposed to look pretty. So rather than for taste purposes, I really think it's more the garnish. This is the snapper. This was great. It was
Seared
very
red
fresh.
snapper.
I loved this. I thought it was excellent, and I would get it again. Our whole group liked it. The people that eat fish, anyway.
And everybody liked the beef as well. And here is the beer braising flight.
Right. I think my favorite was the stout.
The duck rabbit
Yeah,
milk
it sounds
stout.
odd, but it was quite good. But all of the beers were great. I would definitely get... I think this was a better beer flight than the one we had earlier in our little tour.
And then we're going to be talking about the port wine poached pear, vanilla panna cotta, and pistachio crumbs. I thought the pear was a little dull for me. Everybody else loved it. I like the panna cotta, though, a lot.
So here's a look at another one of the photo ops, the special photo ops they have just for the festival. And I thought this one was a lot of fun. And I got there very early. This was day 2. So I was able to kind of show this without any people. There was no photo pass, no nothing. So I thought it would be interesting to take the viewer on the whole process.
We had some friends who we were with who did a funny photo in here. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you can do really interesting photos.
Right, and we will do that. We're going to go back tomorrow and have a lot more fun, be more prepared for these things.
And I was going to mention, we only did mostly those food items, and then we went to Via Napoli. We were splitting the food with like
Right,
five
the first day we had
others.
Via Napoli, and then the second day we had a little surprise too, and we'll be showing that. This was a lot of fun.
Now, they call this in the guidebook wall mural paintings, and you end up getting a brush, and you can paint, I believe it's up to 12 squares, and then by the end of the day, you end up with a mural.
It's called the Expression Section, I guess, and it's presented by Glidden, which makes sense. There's some of that Glidden paint, and they have different names for the paint. Do you remember which kind of paint they gave you?
I think it's like Minnie's Glove, but don't quote me on that, because Minnie's Glove, mine was like a yellow, so I don't know if that would be right.
And it's sort of like a giant paint by numbers. And this is a shot from later on in the day when it's a little bit more finished.
Right, and I believe they probably go through one a day. I didn't see anything that actually specified that, but it seems that is the case. And there was also another mural being painted. This was just by one artist.
Right, this is in Future World, in front of where the butterfly tent would be for the...
Will be,
will be,
hopefully,
yes, will be.
soon.
That's very true. So also, they had the Animation Academy. This is something they used to have at the Hollywood Studios, and I think they still do have at Disney Quest.
And this is in Innoventions East. I keep wanting to say Inventions.
Communicore.
Yes, Communicore East, whatever. And they have a little annual pass holder area with merchandise, but not only merchandise, but they have a few couches, so it's kind of nice. It's like a mini, tiny little pass holder lounge.
Little relax and recharge area without soda pop.
Right, no soda pop. I don't even know
Unless
if they
you bring
have
your own.
chargers. Like, I don't know if it's just couches. So I thought that was nice.
But a lot of great merchandise. I'm very impressed. If you like Figment, you'll be happy. And of course, we bought one of these Tervises. I was drinking out of it earlier today.
I'm going to get myself one too.
So we'll have two yourself. We have one.
But I want my own because I love purple and I like Tervis. So I should have
You'll
my
have
own.
your own designated Denise
Yes.
cup. So there you go. And a coffee cup there. You don't want one of those?
No, I like Tervis. I can walk around with my Tervis. We have like 20 Tervises in the house.
And this is the only shirt we didn't get because we already bought the other two, and this was my least favorite. So there you go.
Well, it's not quite as colorful.
So anyway, they also have performance art going on, and here is Trevor Carlton, and he's working on a live painting. This took about 10, maybe 15 minutes to do. Can you figure out what it is yet?
I know what it is.
I know you
No.
do. I know you do. And I think it's getting kind of obvious. But he's a lot of fun to watch. Very animated character there.
Well, he's dancing, and I guess he went to Lee Strasberg acting school, but ended up, it seems like mostly he does art, and it's performance art, and there is Olaf. It was done very, very quickly.
I like
It
how
was
he
really
throws
fun.
the paint around, and it's really cool. It's fun to watch. He really gets into his work, obviously.
Yes, and yeah, he's known for this. He's known for painting, just something in a few minutes to music, and that's what he does, and he does it, I guess, every weekend.
And Olaf was instantly sold. We went to say hi to him after this presentation. Before we can even get over there, Olaf sold.
Is that true?
True story.
I had no
True
idea.
story.
Wow.
So they also have walking chalk art, and this is from earlier in the day, and then we're going to show a shot from later in the day. And I think they put these on the
ground.
On the ground, so maybe that's why they say walking chalk art. You
I
don't walk over it though.
No, I didn't really understand what walking chalk art means. Like, later you'll see them on the ground, but I thought it would be like at Disney Springs when they actually chalk art on the ground.
Like the 3D ones.
And I was
Those
hoping,
were pretty cool.
I was hoping for some Disney, but there's nothing like that.
So here's another one on the ground. This one looks like it was actually painted on the ground, but it's
Yeah,
hard to say.
with the chalk.
Like this one is not painted on the ground, it's just kind of placed on the ground.
So I like that one, the Ben Franklin. So
Yeah, very nice.
But I was kind of hoping, for Mickey Mouse.
You wanted the 3D.
I
from,
I wanted the characters a little bit more too.
So we're in China now, and while we're in China, this is day 2, we decided we wanted to have something quick, something filling, but good to eat. And this is our new standby here at China.
Well, we hadn't tried this before. We usually stop here and get the sweet and sour chicken. So it's like, why don't we try the
beef and noodles?
Right, and that is very good, and we just split it. And
that is a huge amount.
is
You can
really
ask for
big.
an extra plate, which I'm showing there. This is about $11, and it was very, very good and filling.
I really enjoyed that. We stopped for dessert. Okay, I don't think this one is worth it. It's pretty, so if you want the picture, for $5.50, get your jumbo cookie.
It's very pretty.
But you can get a jumbo cookie for between $3 and $3.50. So really, for those 3 extra splashes, you're paying another $2. So I do not recommend.
But it's
the
still a
chocolate
great
chip.
cookie. It is
It's
still a
good,
good cookie.
but I can go over to France for $3.50 and get a nice one.
So now we're jumping over to a new venue, the Odyssey Festival Showplace.
This is where we went first for our food also. But there are 2 galleries. They're not huge, but this one is the Art of Her Ryman.
And there is Horizons, one of my favorite classic attractions, and there is Epcot right there.
And this is all Epcot. He came out of retirement to work on Epcot, and so that's obviously, you're in Epcot, so that's what the exhibit is.
And there he is. So awesome. You can even buy this print here. And you told me that you can get it from print on demand too. But
At Art of Disney.
It would not say the Festival of the Arts, of course.
Yes, and there is the Hatbox Ghost Stitch, and there's art that you can buy, and that is one of those pieces that you can purchase.
I bet you this Figment is very popular.
I'm sure. And I don't know if if we're going to mention about like Don Ducky Williams and other artists are also at the Festival of the Arts on different days. I believe Don's there like every day.
Don will be there
yes.
every day. We went and talked to him, and here is just a quick look at the Mary Blair exhibit. We're just running out of time. They also have presentations here, and this is Lon Smart, an Imagineer who also does a lot of work with designing a lot of the signage and various things you see around the parks.
He kind of does all kinds of things.
He is a
man about
a
town.
Renaissance man.
I don't
this
know.
Lon Smart
We
here.
know him.
He does all sorts of stuff.
So there's free seminars on each day, but there's also paid ones. So like one of the days they had photography as one of the free ones, but then another day they had a paid one of a cell painting. So
Right.
there's actually, it's sort of like the Disney Institute. If you remember when the Disney Institute actually had classes for guests, that's what that reminds me of, at $39 each, and then you get 15% discount, like if you're a pass holder at DVC.
So great benefit. Very nice. And now we are going to see these guys, the living statues. I always like the living statues. And here is one that has Figment there, another hidden Figment.
So did you, I kind of enjoy the living statues, and they change out what they hold. I believe later on he held like a wheel, but we didn't see him like that. And there you are. She's
So you
more
get
like
nervous.
a scuba
You don't like
diver.
going up to them. You make me do the dirty
I don't like
work,
going
so
up to
speak.
them, but I also don't like my photograph a lot.
So here we are, back to the food.
Well, this is sort of like the item to get for the photos. It's an almond frangipane cake layered with raspberry jam and chocolate. And I thought this was very good. I probably wouldn't get it again, but I thought it was
Well, it's heavy.
Nice.
It's
It is
very,
heavy.
very heavy, but I agree.
Not in a bad way. It's just not as good as some things that I prefer to purchase, but it was nice.
Like this.
That was very good. This is an opera cake over at some of the regular restaurants like La Halle Boulangerie Patisserie
In France
have items, and this is an opera cake, and this was very good. It tasted like a tiramisu. It isn't a tiramisu, but it has that coffee and very nice soft flavoring.
Of course, we bought that, and we bought a full-size baguette to go.
Yes.
And we ate the baguette while we were watching this wonderful concert, Disney on Broadway, with Ashley Brown and Josh Strickland.
For
and
$3.
Here's Josh. He originated Tarzan on Broadway as Tarzan. I saw him during that show in New York.
He's very talented. I think that's the only show he's ever done for Disney. But he sounds like he could be on Broadway now. I think he's excellent. And they have 3 shows per day. You can get a dining package, but we got in line an hour early before the show and ended up in a front row seat.
Right, you do not need to be there that early, I don't think.
No, but for us, we ended up, they let in pretty much right as soon as we got there.
Right, we're not used to that. That was great. Here is Ashley Brown, by the way, and she originated Mary Poppins on Broadway. I saw her in that role as well, and it was so great to see both of them again. Wonderful show.
And she played Belle also in Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, so she's actually done quite a bit with Disney.
So I think we would both highly recommend
Well, we're
if you
gonna
get
see
a
it a
chance.
second-
We're going
a second
tomorrow
time.
night just for our own pleasure.
And we know somebody who went 6 times. It's the same show, but
he went
6
six times on opening weekend. So
I
that's a
loved it.
real fan.
Yes.
That was Dan. So good for you, Dan. Anyway, that was the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. We had a great time. We've already gone twice. We're going back tomorrow. Can't wait. I think it is a great addition to the festival scene.
Absolutely. When I first heard about it, I'm like, more food, but it isn't. It's less food, more art, and it's a nice combination of the two.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Thanks to MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel. They are our official travel sponsor. If you're looking to go to the Festival of the Arts or the Epcot International Flower Garden Festival coming up.
Or the Food and Wine Festival.
Or the Food
if
and
you
Wine
plan
Festival.
early.
This is the time to start talking to them about travel.
And also the allears.net newsletter, a free newsletter. Always tons of great information. Highly recommend it. We've subscribed for years.
Many years.
Can't recommend that enough. So we're going to be heading to Animal Kingdom this week. We haven't been there in a while. We might go to Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Not tomorrow.
Well, not tomorrow.
No.
Not tomorrow. We're going to Epcot tomorrow night.
Animal Kingdom and Epcot. So I'm looking forward to that. We haven't done definitely Animal Kingdom in probably, a month or 2 months?
Yeah.
At least.
Well, we were supposed to
It's been
go
a
to
while.
a Planet Hollywood preview, but that got postponed.
Delayed.
So perhaps that'll be rescheduled. So if it happens this week, we will be there too.
I'm looking forward to that very much.
Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.